In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can change 2 or more colors in Davinci Resolve easily under the color tab. In this case, you have this example where we have a red car and green trees. I'm turning this scene into this. So the reds become blue and the greens become yellow. I'm going to show you first that if we don't use the nodes, because I'm using nodes, and want to try to do that, it will not work easily. Why? Because we will only be able to affect one color. So in this case, I have this footage, original footage, and I have the color picker, and I go, let's say, to the hue and versus hue, and I zoom in a bit and I click on one of the red colors there, and now I have this picked up. I can change this. I can even widen the area that is being affected of the reds. Right, so in this case now I'm almost where I want to be regarding the blue color, for example. You can see that now here also have this being affected because these include shades of red. I'm going to show you how we can also solve this problem soon. But once we do this, right, and we change the reds into blues, right, we cannot now in parallel do the same to the greens, right, because we already did something here. So if I click now on the color picker here, and I can also do this and change, but this will not be flexible and will not let's say save my steps. If I, let's say, I want to add more colors, I will go to the color picker and will click on this small cross and then add more greens here, and then also try to go and then work with them. It's not really working, let's say, super as I want it to be. And as well, if I want to, let's say, add more and more, or let's say I want to go back to the red ones, right, go back to the color here, and then let's say, okay, this is one of the red ones. You see, if I click on this one now, it resetted what I picked up previously, right, and that's why it kind of got lost a bit. So that's why using nodes in this case would allow me, would give you just more flexibility, right. I'm going to undo what I've done, go here, I will undo all of these changes. All right, so nothing has been now done. We have this original clean frame, right? Now what I can do here is I can, of course, need to make sure that you have the nodes turned on from this part, and I'll right click and go to add node, add serial. And here, let's consider this as a layer or a step that is separated from the original one. And here I want to pick up the red colors, okay? I will go to the color picker, I will click on the red, and now we can see that something changed there. If I go to the highlights, it will show me what has been picked up highlighted. If I go to the pick and with a small cross or plus sign, add more red colors, you can see, go to the highlights, now I have more red. Now before continuing forward, I will now start to change or affect these red colors. Go to the hues and do this, for example. And now I want to add more red colors. So just adding more reds from the car. Zoom in more with the wheel. All right. Go back to this one there, the hues. I can change this one to this, let's say, nice blue color, right? Maybe this is what I want. Now the problem is, what we mentioned before is that now we have also other areas being affected. A solution to it would be to use a window here. In this case, I'm going to draw. So I go to this tab and then go to the pen, and I will draw a rough mask around the car by just starting to, click only by doing clicks. That's from the color effect. Like that. And the final one, make sure that you click on this one, and once you hover over this one, you have this small circle to close it. I can again always go back to this one. I can click and add more points there to affect this mask, and now we have this car only affected. I will click on this one to just remove this graphic of this, not remove the mask itself, but just I don't want to see it, let's say, right, like that. And now this is my result. So I will click on Alt D to go back before and after to see the result, right? So these areas that include small shades of red have not been affected because of the mask that we added, right? Now this step is now fixed and saved for me. I can go back to this one later on and then pick up more colors. Let's say I want to pick less colors, I can just do whatever I want with this one. This is saved as one step for this matter. Now I'll right click on this one and add node, but not serial, but I will just say parallel, which means that now in parallel to this one, I'm also now gonna pick up another color. In this case, I want to also pick up, let's say, the greens, also affect them, right? So I will, using, you know, the qualifier, I'll click on this one. And also here we have, if I go to the highlights, I can see what has been selected. I will click on the plus sign here, add more. Now before adding more, I will now start to change these ones to see what is the result, and then later on I will start to affect or add more or less based on the results. Let's say here, like that, I will go to the hue versus saturation, try to saturate them slightly more. Hue and luminance, how more illuminated they look like. Maybe I would like to have them look like this, right? I would like here, for example, now to add more greens. Go back to this one color picker, add here, but you can see that now it kind of is the limit of picking the colors. Like these greens ones are not being picked up anymore for some reason. So what I will do here is I will add a new one, just add a new node. So add node, parallel as well. And then here I'm just gonna add the ones that have not been picked up previously. So I will click on this one with the plus sign, this one, and now let's go back to this. Let's see, like that. Go back here, luminance. What I can do here, because it looks like it's like also picking up some of the other greens, is that once I can see the highlight, I will actually remove with the minus some of the areas that have been previously picked up, right? Looks like it removed too much. Go back to this one, add more like this, right? Also click on these ones, and you can see now I almost reached now the end result. I did not affect the blue of the sky, neither the colors of the roads and the buildings, but only the car, which turned into blue. So I will click on tab D, before and after. This is the original image, and this is after. And this was possible by using nodes. Nodes allow us to kind of separate the steps. Maybe if you are familiar with Photoshop and other software like layers, let's say, these are, let's say, layered tasks, layered steps that have been done. In this case here, I only targeted the red ones to turn them to blues. In this case, the green ones, and in the last one, the remaining green ones. I hope this was helpful to you, and see you in the next videos.